Hi everybody, welcome to my channel Kira Kinesis. My name is Kira and today I have a balance and stability mat Pilates inspired flow for you guys. And we are at the beautiful, the Madison River at the Baker's Hole campsite in West Yellowstone. This marks the tail end of a national park road trip that I have been on the last 3 weeks. So very excited to bring this flow to you. I have been supplementing all of the hiking and trail running that I've been doing on this trip with a fair amount of mat Pilates and mobility work to keep myself really sharp when I'm out there running and hiking on rough, uneven terrain. So with that being said, we'll really be focusing on the lower body, but we will also integrate some twisting of the upper body to open up the spine and the shoulders. So if that sounds good to you, then grab your mat, find a nice open space, and technically you don't really need a mat as long as you have a flat, even surface and ideally bare feet, then you are good to go. So maybe some water as well. Okay, let's get started right here in the middle of your mat. A forewarning, I might be a little bit squinty or closing my eyes because it's quite bright out here. Just letting you know, I'm not sleeping. I'm not doing Pilates in my sleep. Maybe I am. Okay, we're gonna begin our class today standing hip distance apart. So bring your hands to your hips, draw a line down and make that line. That's where your feet are gonna be, hip distance apart, with your arms just gently hanging by your sides. I want to begin with just grounding our body and really feeling the connection of the soles of the feet, the heels, and all 10 of your toes to the ground beneath you. Putting equal pressure into your heel, the ball of the big toe, and the ball of the pinky toe. Balance and stability work begins at the feet. So we are on them all day. It's time that we give them a little bit of attention and work. Balance and stability training really helps with injury prevention, so that's why it is integral that we do it at least once a week. All right, for those of you who are new to Pilates, we breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Unless you are congested, then you can just breathe through your mouth. So I want us to begin by being aware of our breath, slowing it down and breathing fully. Every inhale, you breathe into the sides of the lungs, into those ribs, into the back of the rib cage, until you can't fill your ribs anymore. Then exhale out the mouth. Trying to keep gentle engagement of your belly muscles, those abdominal muscles. So you have gentle engagement here, which means you really need to breathe fully into your ribs and back. Which differs from diaphragmatic belly breathing, which is used for relaxation, but not so much for movement. Take one more breath in and out. Exhale and be aware of your posture. Are your ears stacked above your shoulders, which are stacked above the middle of your rib cage, which is above the middle of your hips here, that iliac crest, which is above the middle of the knee, which should ultimately go down just in front of the lateral malleolus, which is known as your ankle bone. So be aware of your body in space and the stacking of your joints. That's very important when we're working on our balance work today. Okay, everybody with me. Slightly bend the knees. Inhale, send the arms up overhead. Big full body stretch to the sky. And exhale, start to roll forwards, rounding one vertebra at a time through your spine, coming all the way down to the mat or as far as you can go, bending your knees a bit if you need the assist to get your finger pads to the ground. And from here, we're just going to prance our legs a bit, left and right, alternating knee bends. Immediately release any tension you've been holding in your jaw, your neck, your shoulders. Let it all hang loose right here. Okay, let's do our knee bends together this time. Feeling a nice stretch on the back of the Achilles tendon, your calf muscles. Integrating your breath to movement. Inhale, exhale. One more. All right, softly bend the knees and let the tailbone become really heavy as you start to re-articulate up through your spine, one vertebra at a time, until you come back to your tall standing position. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, round forwards, releasing tension in the upper, mid, and lower back, bringing the weight forward in your foot, but not so as your heels come off the ground. Just take a few deep breaths, slightly bend the knees, prepare to roll up by getting heavy in the tailbone, light in the rib cage. Shoulders and head come up last. Very nice. We're moving on to our lateral lunge flow. So for lateral lunge, let's start with the hands on the hips. Engaging your core from the front to the back, sandwiching your spine with these muscles. You're going to create the turnout in your hips and legs by engaging your glutes. So the glutes turn on and help you to activate into that external rotation at the hips. Your knees are over that second toe during all of these lunge exercises here, okay? So proper knee alignment is good for knee health. Let's start by just shifting our weight from right to left. Now I'm not coming up and Ferris wheeling up and down like this, or whatever the word is. I'm going to try to not do that up and down movement by staying low and grounded. This will really help to open up the inner thigh, the groin muscles around the hip. And it might feel a little icky at first, but I promise as we get more into the class today, your hips will feel really good at the end. So just a gentle shift right and left. Staying tall and lifted in your spine as if I am a marionette puppeteer, and from the crown of your head I have a string and I'm pulling you erect. Really engaging your core. Okay, find your center position, relieve those hips and quads. We're adding an upper body rotation to what we just did. Ready position, you're going to bring your hands as a fist, like cup one hand with the other, in front of your breastbone right here. You're gonna sink into that lunge and then twist. Rotate after you shift your weight. So shift and twist is what you're going to say in your head. Inhale, exhale. Through the nose you inhale, exhale out the mouth. So you're really getting a little coordination, and we're really working on strengthening our legs in the lateral plane of motion. Moving side to side. Grounding your breathing. One more each side, then we add on. Okay, pause. Now we're going to shift, straighten the arms, bring the arms across your center, and then it gets a little complicated at first. Draw the elbows back, you're rowing the elbows back, feeling the upper back muscles engage, and then you push as you shift your weight. I'll do that a little bit faster. You inhale, sweep the arms, continue to inhale, drive the elbows back, exhale, shift and push. It's like you're bending water, you're a water bender. Moving very gracefully. This is from Tai Chi, Qigong. Moving meditation. Inhaling and exhaling. Exhale every time you shift your weight and push your hands away from you. Just being aware of what you feel in your body. Being aware of your knees tracking over that second toe. You can glance down if you need to, that's welcomed. One more each side. Very nice. Shake those hips out left to right, maybe forward and backwards, maybe circling them out like you have a little hula hoop party all by yourself. Whatever feels nice. Okay, moving on. Bring yourself to the right. So shift your weight to the right. We're gonna do a little side stretch. So bring your right forearm to the right thigh, create a brace. You're gonna press actively down into the thigh. And from there, the left arm sweeps up first. Gain length up from your left fingertips down to your left heel. Once you feel that length, you can side bend a little bit more. We're just gonna hold this for a little bit. Breathing into the stretch. Trying not to let yourself rotate forward or backwards. Pretend you are in a toaster slot and you don't want to get burned by falling forwards or backwards. Okay, one more inhale, full inhale. On your exhale, press back up through center like you just woke up in the morning. Really nice stretch. Other side, create that bind, press down. The right arm comes up to the sky, feel the stretch from your fingertips to the right heel, and then side bend a little more. Oh, this side is tighter. Really opening up through the side body, your latissimus dorsi, that's your really big muscle on the back that wraps around to your armpit. This is a great stretch for the lats, for your obliques. Make sure your core doesn't go out on you here. You're still pulling your belly button in towards your spine to support the lower back. One more inhale. Exhale as you lift up through center. Okay, archer lunge to the right. So bring your weight to the right, check for your knee alignment, create that bind again, and now the left fingers are going to come down and tap your right foot. You can even reach back and hold on to the ankle for a really intense and good stretch, I think, on the back of that left shoulder. Breathe into it. And now we're doing our archer. So we draw our bow and arrow up, up, up to the sky, getting that really good rotation by using that braced right forearm into the thigh to help us twist and open up our spine a little bit more to the horizon. Feeling the widening sensation, stretch on the back of the right shoulder, and how that left shoulder blade is kind of kissing your spine. We call that retraction. Let's do one more a little faster before switching sides. Reach down and stretch. And exhale and rotate. All right, take another inhale. Exhale, come through center to the other side. We start with that brace here, pressing down into the thigh, reaching and holding the stretch here. Really find that brace, holding onto the ankle or touching your foot to get a nice stretch on the back of that right upper back and shoulder. One more full inhale. And on your exhale, open your spine. Oh, find that beautiful stretch, beautiful rotation. Bringing that right shoulder blade back towards your spine, engaging the muscles up there. One more inhale. And exhale, return a little bit faster. Down. Hold. All right, so the wind just blew over my phone, but we are coming right back into that quicker stretch. So doing our archer once more, we're going to reach, feel the stretch on the back of the shoulder, and rotate to the sky. Hopefully the wind is a little bit kinder to me for the rest of this class, and my camera doesn't take a tumble again. All right, one more inhale. And exhale, reach back up through center. We have one more lateral lunge variation tonight. So you want to be wide. We're going to do a Cossack squat, which is technically a lunge. So I'll show you what that looks like. I start with my elbows back and then I push them forwards as I come into my lunge. I bring the toes off the ground into what we call a dorsiflexed ankle, and then I come through center and I row my elbows back again. I come down, flex the ankle, and then I come up. Core is engaged, tall spine, so I don't want any collapsing forwards or extending back. I want you to be supported in your spine with your abs, working the whole time. So you're in charge of how low you go. The arms are going to help to counterbalance you. If you're feeling adventurous, then try to go a little lower, but don't let that heel come off the ground. It's going to be quite an intense stretch on your inner thighs, your hips, and your Achilles tendon. If you have tight ankles, you might want to stay a little bit higher, like that, just like this. But if you're feeling extra flexy, then come on low, as long as you don't collapse in your spine. Whew. Let's do one more each side. Very nice. Let's bring our feet together, take a little moment before we go into our Sumo Squat flow. Okay, so a Sumo Squat is not as wide as we were in our lateral lunge, but not super narrow. You want to be out about here, definitely wider than your shoulder width apart, with a turnout. Engage your glutes to create that turnout at the hips. And we're gonna go a little wider even, hands on the hips to start. Let's do 8 simple sumo squats, exhaling to come up, inhaling to lower down, just like an elevator, going down and up. Sumo squat, again, tracking the knees out over the second toe, so don't let them collapse inward. We don't wanna have bow legs. We wanna have strong glutes and hips that track the knees properly. 2 more, and 1. Okay, let's go down, hands interlaced behind the head. We call this a prisoner squat. Keeping our arms back like this, we do alternating heel raises. Lift and lower. Trying to stay low, but if you need to make it a little easier, modify by coming a little higher in your sumo squat. It's a bit of a quad killer, staying down low for this long. All right, pause. Maybe come up for a moment and then back down. We try to do both together at the same time. Raise the heels, lower. 3, 2, and 1. Come on up. Okay, bring the arms down. We're gonna do a little side bend. So hands on the hips. We're gonna come down into our sumo squat and then keep the right hand on the hip as the left arm does a side bend. You're kind of pushing your hips, guiding them to the left as you side bend right. Other side. Let's get a little flow going here. Build some heat. Inhale down, exhale side bend. Remember to stay within your toaster slot, so try not to round forwards or backwards. Just sideways. 1 more each side. And if you're up for a challenge, we're gonna do 2 side bends, 2 sumo hops. Or I guess it would be a jump, because we're using both feet. It would look like this. 1, 2, side bend, and exhale. Exhale as you jump. Ball heel landing, roll through your foot to soften the landing. If you don't wanna jump, instead of doing this, you could just do a normal sumo squat, or for those, you could come up onto the ball of the foot for an added challenge. We're here for a little bit longer. Any of those options. 1 more. All right, shake those hips out. Just a quick break. Hands back behind the head. Come on low, oblique teeter-totter. So we're gonna do 8 total, nice and slow and controlled. You teeter to the right. Try not to round forwards again. Stay within your toaster. Don't get burned. Exhale up. Inhale, side bend. Exhale, find center. You don't need to get too ambitious by going super low. It's just a little movement to the left and right, which will activate your obliques, your side abdominal muscles. Okay, it's getting hard. I lost count. Let's do 2 more. It's okay if we had a little bonus round. And lift and stretch. Okay, 1 more there. Hands on the hips. This is our last sumo squat for tonight. Triple pulse up with the arms. That looks like this. 1, 2, 3, lift. 1, 2, 3, and rise. Let's play around with the breathing. Let's exhale for 3 pulses and inhale to gather air up overhead. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Gather the air. Big sweep with the arms. Engaging your core. Don't let your ribs pop like this when you go overhead. Try to keep them grounded by engaging your abs. Let's do 2 more rounds. So we're picking back up. I just had a technical difficulty where my phone forgot what it was doing and turned off the video. But anyways, c'est la vie, and we're going right back into our class. 1 more rep of these. And exhale all the way up. So coming up next, we are going to be doing a Pilates fencing routine. So starting off in a little bit narrow of a sumo position. So we're not all the way out here, we're more about here, turning out at the hips, stacking the right fist over the left. So we're making fists, making knuckles here, keeping the elbows wide. It's gonna make you have a little coordination with your mind and body, but you've got this. We inhale down into our squat, we exhale and we twist to the right, extending our arms, which have our invisible fencing swords. Come back. We're gonna do a few just to the right, inhaling down, exhaling as you twist the upper body, keeping the pelvis squared forwards the entire time. Inhale down, exhale, on guard. 2 more. Find center and bring the left over the right this time, and we do the other side. Inhale, exhale. I'm constantly looking over my shoulder because here in Montana, we are in grizzly bear territory. And about 2 weeks ago, they actually had a mauling out here and the poor guy died. So if you catch any of my nervous glances, that is why. 2 more. Inhale, exhale. All right, let's do our lunge. So it's a fencing lunge. We're gonna come to the left corner of our mat in a Pilates V position. The first 4 are going to be simple, then I will give you a challenge. Right over left. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, relax. So I'm gonna show you what our lunge is going to look like. You're stepping out here with the heel in line with the sole of that left foot. So it's a 45-degree angle that you are stepping out on. And as you step, your arms reach, twisting that upper body towards that right leg. Then you gather here every time on the ball of the foot. Then you come out on the exhale. 2, 3, and 4. Our next 4, you can do the same, or you can add a balance challenge by coming up into this balance with the heel touching your inner thigh. I think we're doing 1 bonus, but why not 1 more? Very nice. Let's come on to the other side. Find your Pilates V turnout position. Left over right this time. And we begin. Find that warrior 2 position. It's a warrior 2 lunge in yoga. 3 and 4. Maybe adding that balance challenge, finding that little coupe or passe, whatever it's called in ballet. Testing your balance. One more. Oh, and relax. Shake it out. Walk around on your mat a little bit to give your legs a break. I'm checking for bears and none to be seen. Okay, so moving on, we're gonna do a little challenge with a hip hinge movement pattern. So standing with your feet parallel at shoulder width apart or a little bit wider, hands on the hips. We inhale and we find a hip hinge by keeping a soft bend at the knee as we roll our pelvis forwards onto our thighs. So this is called an anterior tilt of the pelvis. And we exhale to press back up to a tall standing position. Inhale, exhale, hinging at the hips. When we do this, we keep our spine nice and long in a neutral position, making all of the work be focused into the backside of your body, your glutes, your hamstrings. 2 more. We're gonna add to that challenge by doing a squat. So it's an inhale into your hip hinge, exhale, squat. The knees come forwards and we counterbalance with the arms ahead of us. Come back to your hip hinge, exhale up. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. There you go. A little more. So hip hinge is more of the hips moving, squat is more knee bend. Here we get more back body, squat you get more quads, the front of the thigh. 1 more of these. Okay, moving on to our chair flow. Bring your feet hip distance apart, this time a little more narrow, and we come into our hip hinge, immediately into our chair pose by bringing the hips lower by bending the knees. Arms are overhead, but try to relax your shoulders down your rib cage so you're keeping them out of the ears. If that's a little bit hard on your shoulders, you are welcome to come to this prayer palm position with your your hands at heart center. Hold it for 3, for 2, and 1. Sweep the arms back, palms face away from you. Lengthen from your fingertips all the way to the shoulders. Really reaching to the ground. And now when you're ready, roll to the ball of the feet and hold. I'm getting a little shaky in my quads. For 3, 2, and 1. Circle the arms overhead. Bring the palms to your heart center and come into a awkward pose. That's actually the name. It's called awkward pose. It might feel a little awkward. You're stacking your body over your feet, over your hips, and allowing the knees to guide forwards. We're just holding this for a little longer before we press back up in 1 swift motion to our chair pose in 3, 2, and 1. And we hold this for 10 more seconds before wrapping up our chair flow. Pulling the belly in, keeping our spine long from the tailbone to the crown of the head. 1 more full inhale. And exhale. And press on out of that one. March it out a bit. And moving on, our next 2 exercises are going to pair together. So let's start with the most basic one. In the middle of your mat, find a Pilates V position, hands on the hips. We're going to simply bring the ribs over to the right as the leg starts here on the ground with the big toe pointing down. So we don't want the toes to be out in external rotation. We want the toes to be beneath the heel on this one. It will really get the gluteus medius muscle activated. All we're gonna do here is lift and lower the leg 8 times. Inhale to rise, exhale to tap with grace. 2, 3, keep your spine long and your obliques engaged. Pull the belly in towards the spine. 5, 6, soft bend in the right knee. 7, and 8. Right away to the other side, soft bend in the left knee this time. Tip the ribs over to the left, stay in your toaster slot, point the toes Inhale to lift, exhale to tap. 5, 6, 7, one more, and 8. All right, building a little combo, we're going to come into our turned out squat position. We're gonna squat, then we're going to lift into what we just did, but with a little bit more intensity, building our speed a little bit. And we're adding that little L of the arms. Inhale down, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale. Squat down, lift on the exhale every time. One more each side. And then you're gonna continue just like so. Or you're gonna do 8 with a jump. So the jump looks like this. Adding a little more intensity to our movement. We inhale down, we exhale, and we hop. 2, 3, 4, point the feet. 5, 6, 7, 8. That went really fast, but it really got my heart rate up. Hopefully yours too. Okay, let's move right on to the next. Feet are parallel in the center of your mat. And all we're gonna do is bring the left foot up to the knee level, open, close, lift. That's our flow. It's like a clamshell as you open, and then an end range of hip motion. Sorry, I meant to say end range of hip flexion. I thought I saw a bear. It was just a child, so no worries. Try to keep the pelvis squared forwards. Inhale and exhale here. Inhale, open, exhale, lift. Strengthening our hip flexors and our external rotators, such as the piriformis muscle of the glutes. One more. And immediately to the other side, no break. Point the foot, open, exhale to lift. With balance, it helps to look at one point ahead of you that is not moving. So don't go on bear watch like I am. Try to keep your balance by looking at one non-moving point ahead of you the entire time. Staying lifted in your body. Long spine. Okay, after this one, we do one more. And lower, shake it out. Whew. Okay. Let's move on. So we're gonna come into a running lunge, bringing the left foot forwards and the right foot back about hip distance apart with the width between your feet. Bring your hands on your hips and bring 80% of your weight and awareness into that front leg, working those glutes and hamstrings and calf muscles more than the right leg. Okay, 80 and 20 in the back. Really feel the connection to the ground. And we want to start by bringing that heel back behind the knee a little bit, because in this running lunge, we are going to be moving our ankle, which will gradually move the foot forwards a bit. Okay, we start by going onto the ball of the foot as our right arm chops forward, just like we do with our gait cycle. And as we roll to the heel, the left hand comes forward. So we're doing 8 total. This is 2, 3. Keep most of your weight in that front leg. 4, 5, 6. You might need to shimmy your foot back a bit. 7, if it's moving too much forwards. And 8. Other side. Right foot forward, left foot back. You are hip width apart to have better balance and stability. We create a wider base of support. 80% of the weight in the front, soft bend in that back knee. Bring the heel back a little behind your right knee, and we chop the arms. 1, 2, slow and controlled, working through that ankle, really getting the calf fired up. Halfway. 5, 6, 7, last one, and 8. Step together with your feet. And next we are doing a pistol squat variation. I'm not going to have us do full pistol squats today. So let's move our left leg first, ground the right foot into the mat. Soft bend in the right knee, and we just bring the left foot forwards, flexing the ankle. We're going to go lower if we want more intensity in the single leg squat with that right leg. So the movement is half circle, point as you bicycle the leg through center. That's 1 of 8. 2, the lower you go, the harder it is. 3, 4, you can always come up if you need a little relief. 5, 6, almost there. 7, last one, 8. Okay, other side. I'll show you this one from the front. So I'm going to be moving my right leg, soft bend or major bend in the left leg, and we begin. Flex and point. Flex and point. Arms can be wherever they help you balance the best. 5, 6, 2 more, 7. Whoa, I almost fell over on my last one, so I'll do a bonus. And 8. It's getting windy here, so a little bit harder of a balance challenge for me. Okay, I think we are about done today. You know, I'm gonna say we're done because I'm getting cold. Let's wrap things up by coming to the center of the mat, hip distance apart with your feet. Arms are by your side, and I want to end how we began today. So we're just going to soften the knees and inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Engage the core and exhale as you roll very, very slowly, 1 vertebra at a time, down to the mat. Bend the knees 8 times, stretching out the back of the leg and releasing any tension that you are holding in your jaw, in your shoulders, in your neck. Halfway there. Seven, and 1 more. 8, and find a soft bend in the knees. We're going to roll up very slowly, so let the tailbone get heavy, the rib cage get light, and re-articulate up to a tall standing position, letting your head settle last on top of the shoulders. Close your eyes and thank your body, especially your feet, for all the work they do for you every day, especially if you are on a grand adventure like I am, where we are hiking every day, trail running. It is really good to work on balance and stability for injury prevention. All right, flutter your eyelids open. Thank you so much for joining me here today in Montana. I hope that you will get to find your way out to Yellowstone someday. I am so excited to check out the park tomorrow, and I will let you know how it is. So if you would like to do any more balance routines, I have 2 to 3 10 to 15 minute long short digestible sequences on my account and on my channel. So I will tag those here for you to check out. Thank you again, and see you next time.